So I am almost 2 hours post-meal. I did take a little extra because I was running not super elevated today, but I just kind of wanted to get out of like the 130s all day. So I took a little extra insulin and now I'm like 89 and stable, but my basal will be wearing off soon. So then I may have a small snack before bed just to bump that up a little bit. I don't like to go to bed anything less than 90, but I can get away with going to bed at 90 and waking up at 115. So I'm kind of one of the lucky ones that get a little bit of liver glucose spillage. So anyways, with that being said, let's jump into today's video. Hi everyone, it's Maddie. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. And thank you for returning if you are a returning subscriber, and thank you for all my new subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you. I'm enjoying all my interactions I'm having with you, whether or not they're in the comments, through your subscribing, or your thumbsing up my videos. I really appreciate it. It just makes things a lot more fun, and it just encourages me to keep going. And I'm going to continue to keep going no matter what the circumstance. But anyways, you saw last week that I kind of talked about my first impressions with Dexcom. Specifically my first sensor, kind of what I went through and kind of some of the basics behind Dexcom. But now I'm going to give you a very general 1-month review and maybe hit on some of the things that I missed in my first video, or maybe even just generalize kind of what I went through in the first video too. And then I hope to kind of explain what future videos you're going to be seeing from me when it comes to Dexcom. So the first thing I'm going to say is just touch on the accuracy again. This would be my, let's see, 5th time around with Dexcom come Monday, and my 4th sensor. I actually restarted one of the sensors. I will talk about that shortly. But anyways, I've used Dexcom now, 3 full sensors for a whole month, so I'm going to give you a generalized focus on that. So as far as the accuracy goes, after I got done with that first sensor, when I went and inserted my 2nd and my 3rd sensor, after it did its 2-hour warm-up period, it was like really close. Like it was like only 15 milligrams per deciliter off, so I'm like, great. So I didn't calibrate it right away, and then I just let it do its course, and it was super duper accurate. Like I would say 95% of the time it was either spot on, or at most the farthest off it would be 15 milligrams per deciliter, which for those of you who use millimoles would be just under 1 millimole, because 1 millimole is equivalent to 18 milligrams per deciliter. So I hope that makes sense. So that all went well, but I still feel like I need to calibrate it if it's any more than 20 or 30 off consistently. Like I said, I am still working on transitioning for using it for other things. I'm right now trying to transition out of using it trying to transition out of using my meter for highs and using Dexcom for highs. I use Dexcom for lows, or if I don't want to pull my meter out right now. After I transition to using it for highs, then I probably will transition for meals. But like I had said before, I still want to test my blood sugar a minimum of 2 times a day, even after I wean myself off of 4 times a day, just because I want to make sure the device works properly. And I think you type 1 diabetics know we should be using multiple faceted tools to help manage a multifaceted disease. So as far as the insertion, all 3 insertions were good. My first insertion was on my stomach, my 2nd insertion was on my stomach, and my 3rd insertion was on my arm. So I'll be going on my 4th sensor on Monday, but my 5th time around, because this 3rd sensor is running a 3rd and 4th session, if that makes sense. As far as the app and the receiver run, it has been running fairly smoothly. I don't know what iOS I use. I think I used one of the latest iOS 12s. But it gives me that pop-up message every time I go on that Dexcom is trying to upgrade their software and their system to accommodate the iOS wear. And it may not run all the different tools and stuff, but honestly, whatever I need, it's there. And the receiver is just as good too. I do hope to do a video depicting the difference between the receiver and the phone and pros and cons. I do use both. Again, I had mentioned this in my training video. I use both only because if my phone dies, I have the receiver, and vice versa. If my receiver dies, my phone is good. I actually had this situation happen to me a few weeks ago. My phone, I have an iPhone 6s, which is a little bit on the older side, and I've had it for over 2.5 years, and the battery starts to drain. I was out in the cold with my neighbor helping her out with her horses, and all of a sudden my phone went from about 40% to nothing. It died on me within a half an hour because of the cold battery. And thank God I had this around, because my blood sugar was on the lower end and I didn't even feel it, which is kind of strange. Sometimes I do feel my low, sometimes I don't. So I was thankful to have one thing to tell me what my blood sugar was. And I hope in the future to be using the Dexcom Share app with either one of my parents. I did talk to this with my dad the other day, and he's interested in doing this. Honestly, me being 20 years old, I don't need somebody constantly babysitting my blood sugars, but I would feel comfortable knowing that someone else could know my blood sugars again in case something happens to my phone, or in case for whatever reason I don't hear my alarm or my alert, or I'm maybe not catching something with my own treatment that maybe could help me prevent really bad highs or really bad lows. And it's just nice, too, that you have other people that are willing to care about you and are willing to hold you accountable for your blood sugars to make sure you're getting the proper treatment, because I think a lot of my family members would not like to see me get complications in the future or pass out from a low blood sugar. So I hope to be doing a kind of a video on that, too. Kind of how that works, and maybe like impressions, maybe get my opinion from my parents or whoever's going to do the Share app. It would be nice too if I in the future end up with a boyfriend. FYI, I don't have a boyfriend, I am single, but there you go, you learned another random fact about me that you didn't learn about me yesterday. But that would be nice too for a significant other in the future, and eventually if I have a husband or something, that would be nice for them to be able to use that. Like I said, I plan on doing a video on that, plus I also plan on doing a video on the insertion, kind of like maybe and how I restart it too, because I'm going to talk more about the restart here in a second. But the next thing on my list here is the alarms are very useful, and they're fairly loud. As you guys know, it turns a bright red when you are low, gray means you are in range, and high is yellow. I don't know if it's allowing you to see that, kind of, but it's kind of nice to know, even if you don't look at the number, especially since on the receiver the numbers are a little smaller. At least if you see the colors, you can kind of get a general idea what your blood sugar is doing, and you can customize them alarms to set whatever level you like. Once you set an alarm, you don't have to stay with that. You can change it. I recently changed my high setting to 180, so I know when I go high a little quicker. So that's not so bad, and you can even change that low bar, but I keep my low bar at 75. Maybe I drop it to 70 in the future, but I mean, I like to treat my low at 75, even though that's technically not considered low blood sugar at that standard. I'd rather treat it at 75, knowing because once I'm probably at 75, it won't take long for me to drop down into the 70s or the 60s or even lower. And that urgent low soon alert is very helpful. I had that go off a couple times. I've been able to eat some fruit snacks or eat a little bit of sugar and get my blood sugar back up to a healthier level, and I've never felt the shakes, never felt a headache, never felt anxious or a pounding heart or any of those low blood sugar hypoglycemia symptoms, because I was able to catch it rather quickly. And then I'm going to briefly talk about the third sensor going on to the fourth sensor. This was my third sensor, and then I restarted it because the third sensor I accidentally used without the code, and I just didn't want to waste the code, and I figured what perfect time to learn how to restart one of these in case money gets tight, or I just feel like I said, sometimes I feel it's convenient to not have to worry about inserting a new one. If it's not convenient for you, you can do the Faraday bag, or if you're at home, put it in the microwave. Anyways, I'll kind of show more how to restart one. It's actually somebody else's video that did it. I believe her name is Katie DeSimon. I will link her video down below if I can remember, so you guys maybe can learn how to restart your G6 too. But that's how I use her method to restart. There's also another method that somebody on Beyond Type 1 had posted, and I will maybe try that method. The method that he posted works more if you are on a pump, specifically the T-Slim, because the microwave method doesn't work with the T-Slim if you're on a pump, and then you want to be able to get continuous readings and whatnot, and be able to have your T-Slim kind of accurately shut off and turn on your basal whenever you need to. So I did notice though when it restarted that it gave me a blood sugar that was off by about 25 or 30 milligrams per deciliter, which is a little over a millimole, and I calibrated it right away because it started up with no arrow. Once I calibrated it, it almost like reset itself and it was like good to go, and it's been running pretty good. I do have a little over a day left on this restarted sensor, and it'll be on day 20 come Monday, but I will pull it off and put a new one on. I don't feel like using it for another 10 days because I just feel like it's kind of weird to leave something in your body for more than 20 days. So I'm going to pull this one off. I have noticed now, today especially, it's been off maybe a few times by 15 or 20. I have calibrated it just because I wanted it to be spot on. Yesterday I did have a point where it was off by about 30, which was kind of strange, but again, it was getting towards the end of its life, and I understand a restarted sensor may or may not have some glitches in it. For me, it's not a big deal to catch those glitches because I still test my blood sugar 4 times a day, but for other people it might not be so. But like I had said before, I don't feel like this device replaces finger sticks. I just don't, and again, my opinion may not match yours, but I'm going to be honest with you in what I think, and this is my channel, and I feel like to voice my opinion might help somebody else out, and I can learn from others too. If they might say, well, if you've tried this way, you might find it more accurate. That's fine with me. So, as far as like the adhesive, it is very sticky and it is non-reactive. I have very sensitive skin. Any type of clothing can make my skin itch really bad or get kind of rashy like, and I haven't noticed a reaction from the adhesive nor my expression med tapes. However, for whatever reason, this particular sensor, after I restarted it, you could see the expression med tape, which shouldn't have peeled up, has begun to peel up. So I've put on some of this kind of medical tape. But I don't know if you guys can see, like, on my arm, you can kind of see, like, this is like a red spot. But this medical tape's kind of general. There you go. See that kind of red spot? I'm almost wondering if I'm allergic to this medical tape. I have no clue, but heck, I'll just deal with it, whatever it needs to be. And like I said, I really enjoy, the most thing I love is that I can customize the alarms. I've changed them since I've been gone to training to make them more customizable for me, and I'm still looking into doing more things like customizing certain alarms at night so that it might alarm me a little different at night versus during the day, and vice versa. Or maybe I might want to show more, different alarm at a certain time, because maybe at a certain time I'm more bound to go low or high, or rise fast or fall fast, so you can kind of customize those too. So anyways, I think that's all I had to say about my very first month review of the Dexcom G6, fairly general, but then you guys got to know what I think, and also you get to learn more too what I plan on doing in the future for Dexcom videos. I plan on doing tons more, but you guys got a sneak preview into maybe what more videos are coming up. So I hope this video helped and you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Once I hit the big 100 subscribers, I will be posting my diagnosis story. It is crazy to me that we are halfway to 100. I believe we're at 51 or 52 subscribers right now. We're doing pretty gosh darn good. I'm enjoying every single one of you. I appreciate every single one of you for hopping on this journey with me. I hope you are enjoying the diabetes and the non-diabetes related videos. Like I said, if you do decide to subscribe, you can hit that little notification bell next to the subscribe button so you never get to miss when I upload something new. As always, my Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, and Beyond Type 1 will all be linked down below. Also in the About box of my channel, so feel free to check that out. I did put up a new banner a while back. I hope you guys like that. But anyways, until next week for more videos, take care, God bless, be kind, spread positivity, and be thankful. Bye, everyone.